That's like booth seat, top price. Most expensive ticket sitting over there. Okay. Try to move forward a bit if there are still, the chairs are all movable, so please try to come forward. Okay, so all the participants, spectators are in the room. Thank you. So today we will be having the OSG Case Competition presentation, okay, the final presentation. This is actually a joint event organized jointly by NOC, OSG, and Jumbo. So if I may actually, where's the NOC representatives? Ziying? Oh, yeah. So if you can come and maybe give an introduction of NOC, so that everybody here, for those of you who are not aware, please. Okay, Zing here will explain to you what NOC is.
Right, thanks, Billy. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for sharing your Saturday afternoon with us. So I represent NUS Oversea College, which is NOC. So first of all, I would like to thank OSG, which is Eng Han and Billy for strongly supporting us all the way, and also to organize this hand in hand with us. So big applause to them. And also thank you judges and our mentors for giving your time to us to help run this program smoothly. So anyway, just a short introduction of at NUS Overseas College. So what we do is basically we place NUS students in startups all over the world for internship. So what we do is we hope to encourage and mold future entrepreneurs in Singapore. So we hope to equip them with enough skills to be entrepreneurs when they graduate. But of course, you'll never be fully equipped to be an entrepreneur, right? So basically this to give them an exposure to what startup life is like, and to see what is the overseas market about. So that when they graduate, then they have a better sense of what they want to do. So very grateful that we have received a lot of support over the years. And of course in Beijing, we have so much support, and from the Singaporean community as well as the schools and stuff. So, okay, I shall not bore you with what we do. So I'll pass the mic on to the next person.
Thank you, Zing. Thank you, NOC, for initiating this case competition today. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Tan Eng Han to explain and introduce what OSG is.
I think there is no need to introduce OSG. I'm sure you all know OSG by now. If anybody do not know OSG, can come to me and I can explain to you over a nice beer, okay? But anyway, today I think I want to spend the next 45 seconds thanking the few important people that helped this thing, make this thing possible. The very first person I want to thank is Jumbo, especially Mr. Ang and Benji, who has been tireless in supporting this. You can imagine last Saturday, we had 50 of our students and judges and mentors dining a fabulous lunch at Jumbo with all the chili crabs. So we can say that how much have they contributed to this particular. And today, of course, all the first, second, third prize are all sponsored by Jumbo. Second is NOC. Obviously, NOC has been very supportive in getting the students participating in this event. So this is, again, I want to thank NOC for their support. Thirdly, our judges. I can remember I gave WeChat messages to all the judges here, and over the next 24 hours, they have given me a positive reply that they are supportive of this event and they want to be a judge. I think all this are just testimony of how people like us would like to help our younger generation moving forward. So thank you very much, all the sponsors, all the organizers, and all the judges for your support. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, Mr. Benji.
Introduction. Hi, we meet again. So I think, I'm given 1 minute to introduce Jumbo. We did that last week. In brief, we started 30 years ago in 1987, And from one seafood restaurant, we grew into a group of more than 20 restaurants. And seafood restaurant, I think I explained that, Singapore-style seafood, very much different from your Bata Chai Si, your European cuisine, northern, southern. Singapore has its own unique cuisine as well. Very, very representative of Singapore's culture, a melting pot. You got Indian, Chinese elements, you have Malay spices in our cuisine, and one iconic dish that represents Singapore's cuisine is the chili crab, and we are award-winning chili crab seafood restaurant in Singapore. So other than seafood restaurant, we also have our Teochew restaurant, Sri Hui Lim Teochew restaurant. We have also Teochew style bak kut teh, which is ngao soi bak kut teh. We have Singapore style hot pot called J-pot. And we have a Singapore street food concept called J Cafe. So these are our various brands. And with that, I think we came up, Eng Han. Do I need to explain the question? No, right? Okay. Okay, with that, we had come up with the case challenge, which we will introduce in a while. But that's in brief who we are. From one restaurant, and we also eventually became public listed in 2015. Thank you.
Thank you, Benji. Okay, so very quickly now, we'd like to thank the judges, as Eng Han has mentioned just now, our 5 judges who have very generously devoted their Saturday morning, and my understanding, Mrs. Dorothy Seed arrived this morning at 7 a.m. She cut short her Singapore trip just to actually make it for this event. So a round of applause for all the judges. We have Marcus Pang, okay, Dorothy Seed, Wong Kawa, Mr. Wong Kawa, Dr. Koh Hao Teck, and of course, Mr. Benji Anthony. Okay. Other than the judges for today, we'd like to also extend our thanks to our preliminary round judges, who are the ones who actually picked the 6 teams that are going to present today, okay? From Orange, from Apple, and from a tea company. Very fruity judge panels, okay? Tan Chong Ming from Orange, Ms. Rhonda Chua, and Mr. Edwin Tan, okay? So round of applause for them. This is recorded, so we'll show them that we appreciate them, and so that they can still hear your applause. Okay, and of course, mentors. The mentors who, like Dr. Tan said last week, were together with us, the students, and throughout the entire week, were providing a lot of insights to the teams and the students in terms of their presentation and their proposal. Okay, William Ding, who is back in Singapore. JJ, where are you? Anyway, y'all would have seen her walking around just now. Oh, there she is. Yeah. Okay, Garrett Chen, Garrett's over there as well. Okay, Ingguan, Mr. Ang Ingguan also there. And Xue Aishin, who happens to have returned back to Singapore last night as well. Okay, so thank you again, mentors, for the time and effort that you have actually contributed to this entire event and to the students' progress. And of course, the 10 teams that have actually submitted, okay, we've got the Sandbox, Jumbo Krusty Krabs, Mumbo Jumbo, Jojun, NTU, Jazz, Rumbo Jumbo, Corporate Punishment, Borderless, and Xiao Xie Xie. Thank you all for taking your week, your time. We know a lot of you actually pulled all-nighters, sending out the presentation at 4 a.m. in the morning to Dr. Tan. Okay, so well done. These are the teams that unfortunately did not get selected to do the presentation today. Okay, but nevertheless, the quality of all the 10 proposals were top-notch. So it was a big headache for our preliminary judges, who had to make a decision and do all the scoring all within 24 hours. Okay, so a round of applause to these 4 teams that did a good job, but was not able to make it for today's presentation as well. The Sandbox, anybody from Sandbox? No, they didn't turn up out there? Okay. Jumbo Krusty Krabs is up there. Jojun, that's just arrived, okay. And Corporate Punishment. Is Corporate Punishment here? Okay. All right, so I'll invite Mr. Benji again coming up here. So as we mentioned, the case question that Jumbo has put in a lot of effort to discuss and to find the appropriate case questions for the students. Benji?
Thank you. Well, a little prelude here. I'd said thanks for your brilliant work. It's tough to make decisions from what we see in your in the presentations, which we had actually look at it prior to our coming to here. Now the question, given the highly competitive and ever-evolving market, how does Jumbo Group stay relevant, sustain, and grow the business in Beijing? It's a very crowded market here in China, in Beijing. We relied on our brand when we made our entrance into China, but you know, we may be known in Singapore, but far from being known more extensively in China. In China, everything is big. You know, we are 小巫见大巫, you know. So you walk out of your door, you will see different kind of restaurants, you know, not just direct competition, seafood to seafood. You have all sorts. You walk out, you have, well, East, West, Nanyang, and on top of that, you also have Wai Mai that is adding to the competition scene. So it's critical. The market is highly competitive and ever evolving, like, you know, Wai Mai is one, the different style of cuisine is the other. So how does we as a group stay relevant to sustain, and then not just sustain, but to eventually grow the business? So the case question was thrown out, Jumbo Group. So other than seafood, we also have other brands. So we invited the different teams to come up with their solutions. So that's the background to our challenge. And it's meant to be more a qualitative instead of a quantitative, because it's, you know, we will want them to come up with ideas, different ideas. We hope that we can be wow, and indeed we did find some wow elements in your presentations. And so the creative and feasible ideas, because you need, on top of the idea, you need actionable plan and action that follows to come up with a possible solution. So that is the background, and I think we will, in a while, hear the teams make their presentations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benji. Okay, so next we'll invite NOC's Chan Yong to give a explanation on the rules and regulation of the presentation of the proposal.
Hello, can you hear me? Ken? Okay, just to reiterate some rules for the final presentation. Okay, you guys only have a maximum of 10 minutes to deliver the presentation. So I will start the timer when you begin your presentation proper. And when you guys have 3 minutes and 1 minute left, I will flash cards. Like, I'll be seated over there so you guys will be able to see, to just like preempt you that, oh, your presentation, you don't have much time left. And in the name of fairness, and because we have a time constraint, we are very strict about this 10-minute rule. So after your time is up, like, we will switch off your slides. Yeah. So yeah, it's no mercy, but like, sorry for that. Okay, and for the Q&A, right, the panel of judges will have the chance to ask questions for every 2 presenting groups. So after like 2 groups present, they will both come up to stage, and the judges will direct questions to team number 1, and after that, team number 2. So it's in this order, like questions will not be like fired around like randomly. Okay, and just to share with you again, the judging criteria for the final round, 20% will be allocated to observation and the analysis, 30% to the creativity of your idea, 20% to the execution and approach, 20% for your clarity, 10% for your clarity and organization, sorry, and 20% for the overall presentation. Yep, and here are the prizes sponsored by Jumbo. 2,500 RMB voucher for the winning team, 1,500 voucher for the runner-up team, and for the third place team, you guys get a 1,000 RMB voucher. And there is also something for all the participating teams. And now,
Okay, so if we can invite the first team, Team NTU, to stage and prepare for presentation. By the way, the jumbo vouchers are only usable in China. Huh? Don't take already, go back Singapore and then say, unless Mr. Benji say no problem.
Hello. 服务员，菜单。Good afternoon, everyone. We are from NTU, and today we are going to take a jumbo bite of the China market. So, our first taste of China. Our first foray into Shanghai has been a wide success, mainly attributed to the increase in revenue in jumbo Shanghai outlets, from 122.8 million in 2015 to 136.6 million in revenue in 2016. So, Jumbo Shanghai has registered a phenomenal increase in revenue. However, now that we are considering the increase and expansion in Beijing, can there be a one-size-fits-all strategy? Obviously not. Why? First, we have to understand that the Shanghai market is widely different from the Beijing market. First, in terms of demographics. In Beijing, there's less international crowds and more localized Chinese. Also, we have to consider that SKP is the first outlet in Beijing. That's why there's a lack of brand awareness. Second, being further inland, crab is not a regular ingredient in the average Beijing's diet. So there's less seafood consumption. Third, they are also unfamiliar with the signature sweet chili sauce taste. So how will all this affect our strategies to expand in Beijing? Before we go into this, let's understand the fit. First, in the Shanghai outlets price trend, the trend has mainly been 250 to 300 and 400. So there has been an increase in terms of revenue. Furthermore, SKP in China is ranked the most expensive and luxurious mall in China. They have registered the highest gross sales of 9.6 billion across all high-end luxury malls. It is also the only restaurant selling seafood in SKP, having registered the highest per head spending of RMB 475. This all shows that Jumbo in SKP is well positioned to attract the affluent masses. Next up, we'll dive into strategies. 服务员，下一道。
Okay, so our strategy is tailored to be first resource effective and it is action donable. So first, we want to satisfy our existing customers by optimizing the dining experience. Second, we want to reach to new audience by introducing vending machine. And third, we want to reinforce premium by having a deluxe delivery service. So our first strategy is to satisfy our existing customer by having optimized dining experience. How are we doing it? One, we are introducing a sink in the outlet, and this is because the toilet is actually 2 minutes away from the outlet, and also eating crab is actually very messy. Two, we want to have warm towels for our customers. They can clean their hand before and after the meal. Three, we want to introduce a bowl of lemon water for them to wash their hands. This actually removes the seafood smell from the hands, and also it introduced this Singaporean tradition to the local customers. And lastly, we want to have dedicated services. So by having attentive waitress beside them, and then like answering to their needs, and also like introducing them the proper way of eating chili crab. So the cost of having these strategies are actually low and is easily implemented. But the benefits is actually it satisfies the customer's needs and also improve the jumbo services. So our second strategy is to acquire new customer. How are we doing it? By introducing chili crab vending machine. So how the customer use this vending machine? 3 easy way. Number 1, they browse the menu. Number 2, they choose, pay, and while waiting for their the crab to be prepared, they actually watch a promotional video. And lastly, they collect and they enjoy the crab. So further explaining, Fu Yuan.
Yes. So the rationale for this is to be able to ease the unfamiliarity with the dish and also the location of the shop. And the cost of it, we estimate that each vending machine will cost around 15,000. This is as per industry standard. And also the ingredients will cost around $8,000 per month. So what are the challenges? Of course, erecting a vending machine might obstruct the foot traffic, but we found out that SKP actually has a 49% stakeholding in Jumbo, so this would definitely be a very feasible idea. And the benefits of it is that it enables a food tasting sessions for people who are unfamiliar with the taste. The vending machine also acts as an extension of Jumbo's shop front, directing traffic to the shop. So for our third strategy, we want to reinforce premium status by introducing a deluxe delivery service. 4 easy steps. 1, you place your order online. Secondly, it gets delivered or cooked in the comfort of your house by a well-dressed waiter, maybe in a suit. Step 3, they provide you with the crab eating tools. This comprises of a tablecloth, tableware, crab eating tools, and the dedicated waiter will be there at your service, explaining to you the art of eating crab, explaining to the history of it, and attending to any of your requests. And number 4, they clean up and pack for you, so patrons can stay in the comforts of your house from end to start without lifting a finger and be utterly pampered. So the evaluation of this is that we want to be able to serve new crowds and also spearhead a new line of service. So we estimate the cost of a delivery team of around 2 members for a start to be around $15,000. And because we want to improve the packaging of the whole takeout box, providing extra tools and tablecloth and tableware, we estimate that it'll be around 30 yuan per sale. And some challenges, of course, there'll be setup costs involved, and there might be an additional strain on the existing kitchen capacity. But we feel that by increasing your kitchen capacity is a much cost-effective way than opening a whole new restaurant just to serve a wider range of audiences. And the benefits, it expands your serving radius. You can serve people outside of SKB Mall, and this further reinforces the Jumbo brand of being at the front line of a new range of deluxe delivery service in Beijing. So I'd like to consolidate all of our strategies. Those strategies that were proposed to you were proposed in order of importance and also the ease of implementation. So let's run back at the points. First one, we wanted to satisfy existing patrons. This was by introducing the improved dining experience through the sink, through the warm towels, through a dedicated server. Number 2, we want to acquire new users by erecting a chili crab vending machine. This extends Jumbo Seafood shopfront and attracts more people, educate them, and direct traffic to the shop. Thirdly, we want to reinforce our premium status. This is done by launching our deluxe delivery service. As we have explained earlier, at a click of a button, everything gets delivered straight at you. So the price point for this will be around $400 to $500. And this is not an untested strategy, because like for example, Hai Di Lao has done some similar strategies, and this is also a price point that they priced it. So we feel that the China market may be very comfortable and susceptible and welcoming of this idea. So at the end of it, we want to say that Beijing is a new market, and it needs time for us to understand the demographics of the users and their preferences. So our proposal leverages on existing resources, obtaining more value, and in doing so, we hope that Jumbo Seafood can fly the Singapore flag high. Thank you. Should we pass the mic to the next team? Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Hi, we are Team Jazz from Peking University. I'm Sharon. Today here we have Adeline, Shubo, and Jingyi. So Team Jazz stands not only stands for our initial, but also stands for Jumbo Assured Star Service. So for today's presentations, we have 4 parts. The first part will be the challenges that the jumbos are facing today. The second part would be the solutions, which includes the refining of dining experience, the enhancing of publicity, and the last part would be the conclusion. Yeah. So for the first part, identified challenges. So, as all of you know, that Jumbo Seafood has established itself as a lifestyle brand among Singaporeans, and has recently take a bold and wise choice to enter global markets such as Shanghai and now Beijing. So, while serving Singaporean seafood cuisine put Jumbos as a niche positions among the Chinese in the China F&B industry, but the low visibility of Singaporean cuisine amongst the Chinese cuisine is a challenge for Jumbo. The next one would be that Jumbo's Beijing outlets is actually new and is only in operation for only 4 months, which means that its brand name has not yet reached many of its potential customers. So, before the solutions, let's just look at some of the characteristics of Beijing customers that my group is focusing on. So the first one would be the high purchasing power and the potential to spend. For the current average per capita disposable income of Beijing customers would be 52,530 renminbi, which means that the customers, Beijing customers is highly, has a potential to spend more. The next one would be the increased sophisticated customers in Beijing, where they are actually go after fresh, unique, and uncommon experiences. And they rely heavily on social media to keep up with the latest trends. As such, my team, which Team Jazz aims to help Jumbo to establish a localized reputations in Beijing through refining customers' dining experience and enhancing Jumbo publicity.
To retain and attract new customers, we have a series of ideas that Jumbo could adopt to refine its dining experience. These measures are targeted at making the Jumbo experience unforgettable, hence attracting diners to return for their future meals and spread their experience to their friends. First, we have the open kitchen concept, which visualizes Jumbo's restaurant layout with a round-shaped open kitchen corner to provide a homely feeling where families or business associates can gather around for a meal. The highlight will be that chefs can interact with the diners while cooking. An exhaust hood will be installed to absorb the smoke released. When not in use, the corner can be covered up to be a usual dining table. So this is like a restaurant layout that we can envision. So that area will be the open kitchen corner, and right above it will be the normal dining area. So when the cooking area is not in use, it can actually be covered up. Yeah, and then that side will be the kitchen. Yeah. So okay, the next idea will be our catch and eat concept. The catch and eat concept provides customers with the choice of catching their own seafood if they wish to, such as scallops, clams, or even tied up lobsters and crabs, hence combining the experience of choosing their own ingredients and enjoying the fine delicacies after. This will at the same time allow Jumbo to showcase the freshness and quality of its seafood. These ideas are relevant to the Beijing consumer base as they match fresh experiences with fine dining. They are also sustainable as they are concepts which do not require much work to be implemented compared to a complete change in the whole restaurant layout. Additionally, by increasing the consumer touch, Jumbo could potentially achieve growth by attracting more customers. Next, Jumbo could also organize ad hoc events like do-it-yourself cooking workshops to provide diners with the experience of making Singaporean cuisine, such as chendol drinks with shaved ice, or teach diners how to choose quality seafood. Chili crab eating competitions could also be organized to challenge people to take on the signature Jumbo dish. For instance, if a diner can finish the chili crab in 5 minutes, the meal will be free of charge. This would raise awareness of the big crabs that Jumbo serves compared to the flower crabs that Beijingers are used to having here, as well as promote Jumbo as a seafood paradise to seafood lovers. To cater to the elites of Beijing, fine dining private events could be organized and invitations sent out to the upper class of Beijing to taste great wine and quality seafood.
And the next part will be the service system. According to 大众点评, while Jumbo Seafood ranked highly in all three aspects of taste, environment, and service, the service rating pales in comparison, implying that there is room for improvement. Hence, we would like to offer service of initiative that Jumbo could take to improve its service system. The first one would be the professional training system. As the purchasing power of Beijing consumer grow, they will demand higher quality service, as can be seen in the case of Haidilao. For instance, waiters should understand the origin of Jumbo seafood and be able to make this recommendation to consumer. By training restaurant staff professionally in delivering excellent service, this will also help. This not only satisfy the demand of Jumbo customer, but also give Jumbo staff a sense of belonging and pride in their service. Attire-wise, managers could also don Singapore traditional costume like Nonya and SIA costume to enhance the sophistication of the restaurant. And the next part is the refined service system concept will help Jumbo stay relevant in Beijing market as an excellent feedback that consumers have on Jumbo. This also help Jumbo to retain sustainable as Beijingers are becoming increasingly affluent, and quality service is something that they will more be looking for. With the training system, Jumbo will also give the staff a sense of achievement and pride in their career, helping them to retain labor where talent are hard to find. And finally, with high quality service, it's expected that Jumbo will retain many loyal customers in the long term and attract more customers when word of its quality service is spread by mouth.
Next, as a restaurant that's just made its entrance in the Beijing market, publicity is extremely important to introduce its brand name to its potential customer base. In addition, facing an increasingly tech-savvy customer base, Jumbo has to adapt and tap this to their advantage. So firstly, while there have been various Singaporean restaurants that have their businesses in China, Singaporean cuisine is relatively not known here. Hence, Jumbo can work on organizing a Singapore Food Fest to promote Singaporean cuisine in Beijing and be a leading player in this initiative. By collaborating with other Singaporean companies to create a greater hype, Jumbo can stand to benefit when Singaporean cuisine is more well-known as a whole. This aspect is especially relevant in order to grow Jumbo's business in Beijing by increasing its popularity and reputation as a Singaporean brand. Okay, next, with WeChat's popularity in China, Jumbo should focus on its social media campaign through its official WeChat account. The account should be updated weekly with segments such as new additions to the menu with customer reviews of the dish, advertisement and publicity for the activities that were mentioned before, lifestyle tips such as how to pick the freshest seafood, and information about other Singaporean cuisine. In fact, publicity must be done in conjunction with all the above activities. For Chinese customers who have only heard about the restaurant's opening, this will pique their interest to visit the restaurant. Okay, next, with the abundance of food choices out in the market, Chinese also rely heavily on recommendations to make their choices. The function of WeChat moments can be utilized for customers to introduce the food to their friends. For example, an activity would be for customers where customers will be given a small bottle of chili crab paste if they were to fulfill the conditions by the end of their meal. I believe that this will be different from the conventional way of giving discounts on meals, which is not something that our potential customer base would have go over. As such, this can attract new customers to achieve growth, as well as to retain existing customers who would like to try preparing a meal in the comfort of their home. Okay, next, this map of Beijing shows the different districts here and how the customers in these districts can be attracted by the above measures. As you can see, where Jumbo is currently situated in Chaoyang district, it does not only have to continue work on retaining existing customers, it has to come up with solutions to attract new customers in the other districts to achieve growth. And from this, we can see that the Beijing market presents much potential. We believe that through our proposal focusing on refining dining experience and publicity, Jumbo's business will continue to prosper, achieving relevant sustainability and growth. Thank you for your kind attention.
All right, thank you. So if we can have both Team NTU and Team Jazz please come up to the front. We'll have our judges provide or deliver their comments or clarifications, if we may. Okay. NTU, maybe one on each of you on one side of the stage. Thank you.
Good morning. I think both groups did very well in terms of presentation. I would like to find out from Group 1, the figures that you gave, are they fictitious figure or are they actual figures? Okay, thank you. And I would like to also check with you your earlier presentation on the deluxe delivery service. I think, have you considered the manpower cost? The quality of the so-called service that can be provided at home. Have you considered that cost in your consideration of the deluxe delivery service?
So initially we projected $15,000 for the delivery team. So as I said earlier, 2 men and the vehicle. So we think that we can't just come up with a figure without implementing and seeing how it changes, right? So initially, having 2 men will be good because it will pick up. And then as it goes further, if it becomes more popular, then I think that 后续我们还可以一直 increase more manpower for that. Yeah, but this the strategies are for an initial launch.
Yeah, I think one caution, of course, is the fact that given the tight labor situation and, of course, the cost of operating this kind of services, I think you have to give a little bit more attention in terms of cost and the availability of the manpower. Yeah?
Can I say something? I think because Jumbo Seafood is at a stage of still marketing themselves, so even if we break even and we're not profitable for it, I think it's still a good idea because it definitely helps us to acquire new customers and spread the brand name. But definitely, maybe in the next few years, then we can think about making that a profitable avenue of the business.
Yeah. I have a question for Team 1. I think the background of the high-end dining experience, it is something that Jumbo has been going for together with SKP, which is a top-class mall in Beijing. So my question is, for the vending machines idea, it's very interesting to me, something very, very new. But I would like to understand how does that fit in with the core capabilities of a high-end dining experience with a vending machine experience. Is there any value erosion in this, and will there be commoditization of the chili crab?
So basically for the vending machine idea, right, we would like to acquire new customers. And because vending machine is such a novel idea, but actually has been implemented in Hema Xianshen, the one sponsored by Alibaba, funded by Alibaba, the new kind of supermarket. So they did something like that where you can like fish for live crabs. And in Chengdu, they also have a vending machine there, but that you can select either the male or female crabs, but they have not been cooked in like a package. As far as I know House of Seafood is doing a similar thing in Singapore. Yeah, so in terms of like value erosion, it wouldn't be much of a problem because our strategies is to center on like novelty and to explain the history of chili crab in Singapore. So after they got the chili crab, right, they could it would be actually very convenient for them to either eat it and put it on Instagram to make it Instagrammable and to spread the word, or via WeChat moments. Yeah, so like this will be something for our marketing strategies as well.
First of all, thanks both the group. Lovely, okay? Very lovely. For team number 1, one question. I like the part that you start off with the success of Shanghai. Did you have time to drill into why Shanghai was successful or still successful?
So I think we covered that in the first slide. So we said about how the demographics is different. Shanghai is a more international crowd. They are more used to consumption of seafood. So for these reasons, in terms of culinary preference, they are more open to it, and definitely also spending power. So one thing that we noted was in 2013, the first outlet average spending was 320. The second outlet, it went down to 250. I believe trying to target another crowd. But the third outlet, it went back up to 400. So for us, it sort of stands as a signal that based on the Shanghai demographics, that we still have to go like as premium as we can. And with that, it brought in a huge chunk of group revenue from 2016 to 2017. So I think based on that, we saw that the Shanghai business was a success, and also mentioned by the CEO of Jumbo that Shanghai, foray into Shanghai was very successful, thus they want to continue expanding into Beijing. You want to add?
Yeah, and also for the Shanghainese cuisine, we realized that it's actually more similar to the Yuexi, the Cantonese cuisine. That's why there are more seafood like shenzhen and all those. So they are used to eating crabs. But for once, right, I brought my colleagues to Borderless, like another Singaporean restaurant, and I've ordered like black pepper crab for them. But they actually say that they wouldn't like to eat black pepper crab because they don't know how to peel the crab. And they think that it's actually very sweet, our Singaporean dish. Like there's a sweet ending tone to it. Yeah, which was why we came up with all this idea to cultivate their knowledge and taste preferences towards chili crab.
Okay, thank you. And group 2, just a curiosity, why you guys are reading from the notes? I mean, it's a very logical presentation, very well connected, but you guys are reading like news readers. Sayang, you know.
Just a short one, okay. No worry, I will look at the data or the market data, even the costs. Just looking at the question, because it's asked about whether Jumbo Group, how to stay relevant. So perhaps for you, both your group and also subsequent group, I think maybe have one or two statements and to tell us whether after your research and after your study, whether do you think Jumbo, is it still relevant in Beijing? Just one statement from each of your group. Just one person will do. You know, as a landlord, I also would like to know.
Okay, our team feels that Jumbo is still relevant because, especially like we mentioned, the purchasing power of Beijingers are actually rising, and they are going for high-end like dining with fresh experiences. I think Jumbo providing seafood itself is actually a very unique idea that some Beijing people would like to try if they haven't yet done so. So I think it's still relevant, definitely. Yeah.
I think in terms of premium dining is relevant, but I think in short term, the answer is we don't know. And I think I wouldn't say Jumbo, but maybe they don't know as well. That's why we have this case competition. But that's why the strategies that we implemented, these 3 strategies, are meant to test the market in the next 1-2 years. And if it takes off well, we may launch this new line of services. If not, we got new information about the users. So I think that's how we will approach it.
Okay. Well, thanks for the good work. I have a question, and I'm curious about your vending machine idea. Is it pre-cooked crabs?
There are a couple of options. So it could be either pre-cooked, then you could microwave it in the oven. So like all the crabs, right, they'll be chopped into 8 parts, and then with the shell slightly cracked, so that the users can get to, after they microwave, they could get to eat it conveniently. Then the other one is the fully cooked crab. Yeah.
So it's cooked crab in the machine, or is it chopped up crab, or is it live crab?
It's pre-cooked crab.
Pre-cooked crab, so it's cooked already. Okay.
I think an answer for the team. I think this 大闸蟹 vending machine came out in Shanghai, where all the 大闸蟹 in the vending machine actually cook. So you just buy, come out, you can eat on the spot. So who knows your cold crab? We can eat your cold crab from the vending machine. I think one of the problems we face with Jumbo is the queue is very long. So if you can have some cold crab from the vending machine, I think spend some money even before you enter the restaurant.
Well, we are queuing, just nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.